Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Tuesday, April 30th, 2024 by Gaia Blooming. I am Mimi. That's a wolf. And our energy mantra for today is I take time to slow down, ground in, and align with my values. Oh my goodness, you guys. Today's astro is a thing. So we have Mars shifting signs today. We have Mars moving out of Pisces into Aries. And this is such a funny analogy that's popping in my head, but I'm going to bring it forth. So some of you may remember the movie The Brave Little Toaster. That is Joe's favorite movie. I have seen it way too many times since being with him. But in the movie, it's kind of quiet, and then they're it's kind of quiet and sleepy in the house, and then little Richard goes wampa ba doo bop ba da bop bum, tutti frutti, all Rudy, and that's kind of the shift of Mars from Pisces into Aries. Now, to be fair, Mars is going to be moving in at 0 degrees, but I feel like Mars energy is itching and raring to go. It may not necessarily be 8:30 a.m. on the dot, but watch out for Tutti Frutti, oh Rudy energy moving through because it's coming. Now, we're going to dig into Mars and Aries, which can definitely increase the reactivity quotient, especially as I look at the rest of the day. As the day moves on, well, let me say this. We have the moon moving out of Capricorn into Aquarius. And as the day moves on, we're going to have the moon squaring Venus, and then the moon conjunct Pluto, and then Venus square Pluto. So it's like moon, Venus, Pluto mayhem going on. And we pair that with our little reactive energy of Mars, and it just feels feisty. I do have the Thunderbolt card today, and I have it here with the Adventure card, which I always call my Magic School Bus card for shadow work. This is the Magic School Bus of shadow work. And so there could be some reactionary energies moving through today. Now, to be fair, those it's not really that later in the day. I was like, oh, Venus and Pluto is later in the day, but that moon Pluto is not that much later. It's that's kind of the entrance to the energies. Well, let's talk about Mars in Aries, and then we'll get into some of the Plutonic colonic coming through. So Mars in Aries. Mars rules the sign of Aries. And so Mars is very comfortable in Aries. Aries is the god of war energy. Mars is warrior energy. And so here is where our warriors, ready to pick up our swords and go running into mayhem. It doesn't have to be for a cause. It's just pick up my sword and mayhem. Feels like Monty Python. That's that energy. A lot of times Mars/Aries does not stop to think. Mars and Aries double time does not stop to think. And so we, as aware and conscious people, need to be aware that there could be very unconscious reactionary energies coming up, moving through in this energy. Now, it's also bringing energy. If you have felt like me, I have felt so tired this last little bit. Mars in Aries will be, driving up some energy, which will be nice. But try to bring your consciousness with you because, again, the reactions may just be on the tip of your tongue, so to speak. What do I think for this Mars and Aries transit? Well, I think it's very complicated because one of the things that's kind of playing in the background of my mind is the fact that we are winding up Neptune and Pisces. Neptune is on the precipice of moving into Pisces, or into Aries. Oh, not into Aries, sorry. What am I saying? Neptune is on the precipice of moving into the final degree of Pisces, which is, on the verge of Aries. But that final degree, we haven't had Neptune at the final degree of Pisces since 1862. The final degree of any sign is major. The final degree of Pisces wraps up the zodiac. And like I keep saying, it's all time, space, place, dimension. And there is karma in that energy. And here's what I know about humans is like, we're just as likely, if not more likely, to react in big ways when it comes to these repeating lessons, these ancient repeating lessons of lifetimes. And so I feel like this combination is very intense. And so on one hand, I'm hearing, may the odds be ever in your favor. But on the other hand, I'm hearing like all of us need to be very aware of our own personal consciousness, but as well as I'm thinking about this Pluto energy, you know, in Aquarius that can engage the masses, and also when you take away the M, and affect each of our antennas, each of our vibrational fields, if you will. So, oh my goodness, this is just, it's just a lot. It's a lot of energy. The good side of Mars in Aries is that it also can align with your values, align with the cause. I love all the Taurus that we have. Hopefully, Venus in Taurus, Mars will stop and listen to Venus. The Yang will stop and listen to the Yin. And Venus will be like, okay, like, I know you want to pick up the sword and fight, but like, what are you fighting for? Are you aligning with your values? That's so important in and through this. This isn't about picking random fights on the internet because don't like just don't, you know. So it's not about picking up your sword for that. Again, be aware of your own personal shadow work with that. But this may be a call to step up. Now, a lot of our work has been about embracing our I am energies deeper. We've had Chiron in Aries, the North Node in Aries, this Mercury retrograde in Aries, all helping us dig into who we are on a deeper level. And so my hope is I don't want to say that's where the fight is, but that's where like your inner warrior like can give you a little bit more backbone to stand up in this energy. But just watch for the reactionary energies. Now let's talk about it a little bit later in the day. Like I said, Moon will be moving into Aquarius. So it's moving out of Capricorn energy. We start the morning with some Capricorn energy. Actually, we start the morning with an interesting connection between the Moon in Capricorn and Mars at that final degree of Pisces. It's kind of, you know, it's Capricorn energy. It's still kind of lazy cat because there's actually some work being done in the ether. So if you're exceptionally tired in the morning, chances are you were clearing some karmic contracts in the evening. Congratulations, that's wonderful stuff, but doesn't make a Tuesday morning very easy. Moon moves into Aquarius as of 8:19 a.m. Pacific time. Moon into Aquarius does increase our vibrational sensitivity. So be aware, again, on top of like more sensitive reactionary energy, here you are feeling more sensitive vibrationally, which, hello, those all play together. And then we have Venus building to a square with Pluto. Now, let me just say that this is one of my cards. I have the Lover's card in reverse. And Venus square Pluto is not necessarily fun, but I feel like this is more personal stuff than necessarily something out there. I think that there's going to be some really deep work this Venus in Taurus time, digging deeper into personal worth. This could be money stuff coming up. There's so many layers of this coming up and moving through. And the Moon, as it meets with Venus and as it connects with Pluto, is like, I'm going to show you some of those shadows. So be prepared for shadow work around relationships, money, worth, value, your stuff, anything related to that in this world. Kind of a challenging energy. I do have one beautiful card, though. It's the Innocence card. It's the Sun card. What is that? There's a book. It's a book by F. Scott Fitzgerald that's popping. The sun also rises or something is what is popping into my head with this. The Innocence card, the Sun card, is one of the best cards of the deck, and it's don't lose sight of that. Even as you face some of this shadow stuff, don't lose sight of the sun rising again. Don't lose sight that this might be just some of that stuff that needs to be processed, that this is some of this old karmic, we're going to call it karmic debt, that needs to be moved through and paid, and is coming up to be processed. And, you know, last day of April. Let's clear it out with the end of the month. Here comes May Day. Here comes Beltane. Hope around the corner, right? Just know today may feel a little rough in pieces and parts. So, I'm going to do this. Let's do this. Let's pull a card from Lightseer's Tarot for a little mantra to finish this up because, this energy. All right, so let's see a mantra for all of this energy. Oh, interesting. I pulled the Judgment card. Sometimes we need to get beyond the judgment of ourselves and others and just be in it. That's what I get. Okay. Hello, Essence. I invite you to show up every day. I invite my soul to shine unapologetically. And I love the keywords self-realization and understanding. That's the thing. This is all just about realization and processing these energies. Spiritual awakening, redemption, knowing your motives and your heart to be true, aligning with your values, total transparency, and a glorious unveiling of spirit. That's the other side of Neptune at 29 Pisces. A glorious unveiling of spirit, recognizing the divine in ourselves and everyone on bigger and better levels. But that's going to be as we clear out some of this other human karmic gunk. So, gonna leave that here for today. Good luck. May the odds be ever in your favor. Take time and breathe. Take time to align with your values. Book a reading if you need some personal support. And the better it gets, the better it gets. There's more than enough love in the world for you. You have the power. And remember who you are, for you are the solution. Namaste.